Pop quiz, aka Powders. Welcome back. It's Top Cal Tuesday. How do we follow up issue 25? It's been a little bit of time. I keep track of this stuff. It's been a little bit since we spoke about anything Cyber Force. I call this a Cyberverse from Top Cal, but it's been a little bit. So I think what they're doing here is a lot of what you and I would do. You have a lot of plot threads. There's many different plot threads at this point. Just for example, issue 25, the top body of Killjoy is still crawling and just creating like menace. She's such a menace. We have the destruction of cyber data. We have ballistic and velocity. They're getting closer together. But issue 25 essentially resets everything. The base of operations from Cyberforce is destroyed. Their arch enemies that we've built up since the original miniseries, they're gone. So we need something new, right? Look, this is Cyberforce's home base. So what issue 26 is going to do, it's going to inch all of these, we like to call them B plots, but they're actually like A, B, and C plots. But we inch them one step closer. And this is a little bit of like the Chris, look, and our girl's back. Misery's back. But this is going to inch everything a little bit more. And we saw this executed perfectly during Chris Claremont's time on the X-Men with Marc Silvestri and, Jim Lee and John Byrne. This is a little bit of like the Marvel team method. Not so much addressed that way. That's our terminology on this show. Feel free to use it. Feel free to steal it. So today, we're just going to have a simple look at Cyberforce 26 because I feel the solution that Top Cal has to just get us interested more in Cyberforce, and it sets them up as a universe expanding type team, meaning the team can kind of like do anything, and that's important because and look, let's spoil it. We're building towards this guy right here. Issue 26 sets this up with our boy here from a different company, Event Comics, Ash. And two things happen with issues 26 and 27. See, it puts Ash on the map. Jimmy Palmiotti and Joe Quesada wanted to strike a deal with Image. They said, can we bring you guys Ash? And they said, yes, we'll take Ash. But they said, look, we want to be founding members. We want to be on your board. We want to be a part of your company. And they said no. So Jimmy Palmiotti and Joe Quesada just went off on their own, created Event Comics, and in effect took over Marvel Comics with Marvel Knights and became executives. Now, Jimmy Palmiotti became a writer, but Joe Quesada, they won on that exchange. But along the way, and look, this is our next Cyberforce video. Issue 27. These are both of the variant covers. The one on the left here, or maybe it's your right. Either way, the Joe Quesada one. This is one of the most dynamic covers of the day. They just took one amazing layout by Joe Quesada and they put all the other design elements around it and they just said the hell with it and they made it fit. And for the David Finch one, they did something similar, right? We have like a smaller corner box here. They're smashing the credits a lot. I mean, look, the credits are smashed between the logo and the corner box. Giant signature here. And just the way how these are similar and different, it's so much fun to analyze. That's what she said. The differences of the two. But the Joe Quesada one with this rune like in the background, which is somewhat linked to Gabriel. So we're doing two things with issue 26. We're moving the A, B, C and plots forward we're introducing Gabriel, and through the introduction of Gabriel is going to be Ash. Issue 6, a transformative issue in my eyes when it comes to the Cyberforce saga. Let's go. So returning, long intro there, guys. I had to get myself a little bit of coffee. We have a giant Jurassic Park coffee sign here. I bought this at Universal Studios back when it was still Jurassic Park. Might have been like the first few years that they opened up that ride. The Jurassic Park log flume ride, always amazing. I haven't been to any of the theme parks in years, and I think I'm better for it. Brian Hooligan, writer. Pencils, David Finch. Inks, Joe Weems, Adam Daniel, Brandon Peterson, D-Tron. Color, Steve Fairchild. One of the essential guys of this era. Steve Fairchild. I like butchering names if you guys have never noticed. He's part of the palette of the era, and he did amazing work for Top Cow and Wildstorm Productions. Steve, and because I think his coloring comes into play here, because we do jump a lot of different scenes. Steve is one of the only remaining guys of like the Homage Studio days that's cross-platforming and working still in harmony with both companies. But he eventually just becomes a Wildstorm only guy. So we get the prologue. Lord Bellatane. What vexes you so, master? What brings you such melancholy? What brings you so open? Because this is our Zol here. This is our destructor. Lord Bellatane. What vexes you so? What brings you so much melancholy? And we see that, he's got like a little ring. We got some blood here. But guys, just as a non-action splash page, like this is a little bit of what you want when you open a book. We see he's here. We open it up. And like it's almost like a little bit of that Watchmen effect. The cover is acting as panel 1. But again, let's just put our guys. Let's put Sideblade on the cover. Let's put Ripclaw on the cover. Let's get some amazing colors. So we set this up, and there's a ritual. My blood frozen, and my veins helpless as I watch it unfold as the sweet nectar of victory. So like they're right there. But we get, again, like I like all of these, like the details. But I mean, that's where like kind of like what Quesada picks up on for the next cover. And I always took note of how artists draw just almost like meaningless things. Like the legs of this table where there's like skulls on the corner. All the cool things laid out on the table. And you would go to like Chaos Comics and you would see this like a couple times a month. And it's, again, like sometimes it's fun buying comics of a particular era because you see how there is like a one-upsmanship just based on what other people are buying from the other companies. And you want to kind of be the best. Like you want to be the best guy to draw like tiny castle establishing shots. Like you want to be that guy. And then boom, Cyberforce is back. No base, smoldering. Everyone's looking sad. We got Chip here looking sad. But look at that impact. And they're getting harangued by the local officials. They're like, hey, we're gonna have to bring you guys in for questioning. The news shows up, and now it's almost like the secret of Cyberforce is out. So it took them, right, since that original miniseries, 25 issues. There's an issue 0 thrown in there, but it took them a little bit of time to kind of become a little bit of a public figure. And then we get this again: A plot, B plot, Velocity and her sister, Velocity coming into her own. We go. There's a single issue that I might have been issue, what was it, 22 or 23. It's like her breakout issue. We profiled that on this channel. We did her miniseries already, but they've done so much nice groundwork for this character. And the only thing Velocity wants, we know, look, she just wants her sister back. She wants to remember her family. And Velocity along the way, leading into 25, somewhat thinks she makes a deal with the bad guys so that Cyberforce can get their memories back. And that turns out to be false. So we get this, we get Cyblade, wrecking the scene because there's a assassination attempt. And Cyblade's like, you're not assassinating anyone on my watch. Can we all move forward? And we get Ballistic here. Ballistic now knows that Cyberforce has gone through hell. Right here. She's reunited with Velocity. And this is after leaving Velocity, like a heartfelt note. So, like, there's, again, these, like, emotional, like, push and pull. And that's a little bit of even the emotional pull of Ripclaw, as profiled in Killer Instinct, also available on this channel, and Misery. So, again, we're moving at a good clip here. And then we're back to the C plot, which is the torso of Killjoy. And now Killjoy's in a suburban neighborhood. There's a little girl here looking for Kato, a dog. And guys, please forgive my camera if it's like jumping. It's a setting, and see, it's shifting too. What is happening with this camera? Excuse it, we're going to get through this video. But this girl's looking for Kato, and we see that Killjoy eats the girl's like dog. And then we're back at potentially the new dig. So the funding for Cyberforce, it doesn't come from Stryker. And it's a little bit weird because they have codenamed Strike Force. That was like a 2-year run where they established that Stryker has political ties. He's got ties to political money. He's technically tied with, U.S. senators. None of his resources come into play here. They pivot to Cyblade. And here's the other note. See, the pivot to Cyblade in 26, it comes to fruition with Devil's Reign, Top Cow's biggest project of the day. Here, Cyblade, Ghost Rider. And what they're trying to do with this series here, and we did profile this also on the channel. Look, she gets 2 of them, Cyblade, Elektra. What happens here is it's a Marvel Comics Top Cow crossover with the Image Eye, because, you gotta have 3 logos now for a corner box. This is essentially Cyblade's story. This is essentially somewhat of a redemption arc of Heatwave, which is the leader of Cyberforce. You'd think Top Cow crossing over with Marvel would involve Ripclaw. But there's no, Ripclaw's inconsequential in this. There's more focus on Weapon Zero, Cyblade, Heatwave, Ripclaw, not so much. So we get this other plot point. It's her resources. It's her money. They get the house. We're moving forward. And then we get, again, Top Cow completely drops the ball with everything that they do with Ripclaw by the time we're like at this juncture. His relationship with Velocity isn't as interesting as Velocity's relationship with Ballistic. Ripclaw in his solo series is like a professor in his spare time. Ripclaw kind of, he's supposed to be hunting down the soul of his brother based on a special, the Ripclaw special, also profiled on this channel. He's not doing any of those things. This is where they truly lose like the hold of the character, which is insane because Ripclaw was immensely popular. Yeah, and then everyone's just hanging out. I mean, like Cyblade just looking hot though, right? And Gabriel finishes his incantation. Right? We move a little bit forward here. Don't be silly, Morgan. Please make yourself at home. Nice new haircut. So now he gets a haircut. He gets his ponytail cut off. If you guys can tell, he's supposed to have a long ponytail. And then here we go. We're back. Interlude. Prologue. Gabriel doing the work. And then who does Gabriel bring to Earth? Bring to this dimension? Well, you're going to have to wait to find out. The girls go shopping. This is cool. See, again, like, I like seeing, like, Finch's solutions for, like, look, the hanging microwave, the fridge well stocked. Like even this little, these like all these kitchen utensils back here. And look, the paper towels, like great. And look, like we've set up the environment. They're going to be running out of a house. I believe they're in New Orleans, which was a little bit popular at the time. I could fact check myself on that. I'm pretty sure. No, they're in. Are they in Manhattan? They're in Manhattan. Excuse me. They're in Manhattan, but they're in actually what looks like to be Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. With all of that, the incantation is complete, and we end this issue with Ash. So like they do the work while moving the A, B, and C plots forward, and they introduce the plot element for the next issue, which at this point you're excited to read. I mean, look at Finch drawing Ash here. Like, if this doesn't give you a comic book boner, no joke, AKA Powders, nothing will. But this is why we do Top Cow Tuesdays. Because people will tell you, say it with me, they'll tell you all of this stuff sucks. But they're liars. They don't read the material. They don't care enough to do it. Time to cut in real quick, my AKA Patters. Tuesdays, Top Cow Tuesdays isn't the only 90s comic book content regular series that we do here on this channel. Let's cut to Mondays real quick. So before we get to Tuesday, let's talk about Rob Liefeld, Extreme Mondays. And after Top Cow Tuesday, that's tomorrow, Jim Lee, Wildstorm Productions, Wildstorm Wednesdays. Oh, these shows write themselves. But guys, we love 90s comics. We love 90s content. We love the artwork. We actually read the books and we can tell you about the storyline. So be on the lookout. This is where we need your support. Subscribe, give me a comment, but back to the video. Let's go. And here we go, my AKA Patters. We're fighting a war against the evil algorithm. See, I paused it there so you guys can see how I did a little play on words. But we got some graphics here to support that joke. Guys, I'm cutting into the video just to remind you that your attention to me grows this channel and it defeats the evil algorithm that's out to suppress and destroy this channel. And that's because we're on a righteous path. We're on the path of an army. And what is that path? Truth, justice, and the comic book way. Well, anyway, guys, hit that bell. Give me a comment. I read all the comments. I do my very best to respond and keep up with them. Give me a subscription. There's so many of you out there. I know you guys watch the videos and you don't subscribe. You have to subscribe. You have to keep the train going. And look. Here's the other great thing. Repost this video and show it to a friend. Yeah, I know you have a friend out there that pretends that they like comics, but you can give them my channel and it will change their minds. They will become obsessed with comic books once they delve into my channel. That's growth. That's what she said. Guys, back to the video.